What if the other Straw Hats made it to Marineford? Would Ace still be alive? Would Whitebeard still be alive? How much would change if we changed this little detail in the timeline? Okay, so imagine this, or try to remember this. When you were all watching Marineford, and we all had that moment where we were like, dang, this would be dope as heck right now if the Straw Hats appeared and they had a subscribe button on them, and they were like, hey, if you click this right now, you won't get a devil fruit power or anything like that, but you will get to see creative One Piece content all the time. So I think that's a win-win situation for both of us. Maybe not Ace, he still has a hole in him. Okay, so in order to get the Straw Hats to come back to Marineford, here's what we have to do. We have to change a little something in the timeline. And I thought of the perfect character we could use to kind of change this and move this over so that we can move the chess piece. I'm feeling like Oda right now, guys. I'm feeling like Oda. But essentially what we'd have to do is, you guys remember a character, his name was Bluno. Not this Bluno, but this Bluno. Actually, no, that Bluno, but, you know, after, when he's better. But, you know, so essentially what we would have to do with Bluno is, I don't know if you guys remember, but he has a fruit called the Door fruit, where he can open up a portal, basically a pocket dimension, and teleport to other places with that. Now, this is the perfect devil fruit to use because everybody is scattered all across the world, so we're gonna need that. So we're gonna put him in our back pocket. I'm gonna explain what happens after Enies Lobby when he gets brutally dismantled by Luffy. Let's say he has like a change of heart, and he's like, okay, well, you know, because like if somebody hits you like that, like somebody do this to your face, you kind of have to either, you know, kill him or serve him for the rest of your life. So we're gonna say he wants to serve Luffy now. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever I can to serve Luffy now. So he finds out, he makes it to Saba Oni Archipelago right when everybody is, you know, getting disappeared, and then he asks Kuma like, yo, where did you put everybody? I don't know, maybe he knew Kuma, I don't know. He knew Kuma, so Kuma told him. And then essentially like, yo, he goes on like a little mission of collecting everybody, but for plot reasons, he doesn't do it immediately. He does it a couple days when Marineford's about to take place, and here we are. So the point in time where I think the Straw Hats would make it to Marineford would actually be this moment right here, when Straw Hat Luffy is about to go up against the three admirals. And the reason why I say this is because wouldn't this be the perfect scene? Like, okay, Luffy goes in for his Gummo, gets thrown back, but then boom, you see Zoro come and catch him, and then you see Sanji land an attack on Kizaru because Kizaru's all caught off guard. Then you see Zoro throw Luffy, and you see Zoro attacking Aokiji, and then you see Luffy lands on his feet, but he literally, like, legitimately just runs right past them and tries to go for Ace. And essentially what Zoro and Sanji would be doing in this situation is just doing the same thing Luffy was doing in that situation, trying to hold off until Whitebeard eventually came and stepped in for them, and then they can go and help and assist Luffy in trying to save Ace. Now, all the other Straw Hats did come out of the other door. They all came out of the same door. So you do have like Frankie, Nami, Sanji, well, Robin, and all the other Straw Hats, and Usopp, and you have all of them. But I think at that moment, I think honestly what people like Chopper would do, he would go and try to aid the people who are sick, or he'd probably go and Monster Point at some point. But I don't think that would be a good idea for him, because I think he would just die. I think they would Orange Jr. him. I think he'd become a big target. So I think we would see what happened with Orange Jr. and Chopper would be like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna stay small because nah, this is gonna get crazy if I don't. But essentially I know Nami and them, Nami and Robin, they would try to go, you know, they fight off some riffraff, but they would try to be at the escape plan. Like, they would really be the escape plan, and they would be trying to figure out, okay, once they save him, what are we gonna do next? And Frankie, I think Frankie would probably try to build a boat or something, or try to find a boat, fix it up so that they could go. I think he will fight a couple riffraff too. Usopp might have a couple sniping moments. He's getting the heck out of the scene though, so he's gonna get far too. So all of the other Straw Hats, I'm thinking they're getting far, like they're getting far away, but they're still fighting. You know, they're still helping out, but they know, look, this is a little crazy for us. Only the big dogs can be here, and the big dogs aren't even supposed to be here, to be honest. So now back to Sanji versus Kizaru. What do you expect? I mean, Sanji got that lucky hit off. Like, there was no, and it didn't even phase Kizaru. Kizaru was like, oh, Well, what are you doing down there? That hurt a lot. I think once Whitebeard came, I think all of them are dipping. I think Zoro is going to help. I think Zoro would be right there with Luffy as he is freeing Ace. And I also think that Sanji, he would go and try to do something sneaky, because Sanji always does something smart. He goes off into the scene and runs off. So I would want to say maybe he would have something to do with the whole key situation, but Luffy kind of figured that situation out real quick on his own. But like, what else could, maybe he would try to open up some gates. I don't know. Like, Sanji's a wild card in these situations. So I feel like Oda would have created some sort of gimmick for him to have done to help aid and like at least them getting out of there. But we'll fast forward to the brotherly reunion. So when the brotherly reunion, they're gonna have the little reunion. Zoro, I think he'll be away for that point. I think he would have helped Luffy get up there. He would have, he'd have helped Luffy, like, fight against Garp a little bit. Luffy might not have even have had to hit Kobe. I think Zoro would have just cut Kobe down. It might have been the end of Kobe, honestly. Kobe might have been dead at that very moment. Like, if Zoro was really tight, like, yo, look, we trying to save somebody. Like, I get you got this dream and all, but nah. So at that point, once they have the little brotherly reunion, they're gonna do all their little fiery power fight and stuff that they did in the actual manga. But I think what Zoro and Sanji again will be doing is they'll be a little bit ahead of them, trying to clear the way essentially. So by the time Ace has that little moment with Whitebeard, and then Kiji comes and ruins everything, I think Zoro and Sanji would have cleared enough of the way for them, like with the riffraff and stuff like that. I think Sanji would be a little bit ahead of them. He would be, within hearing distance, but I think Zoro would be like close enough to the point where he would be right in the midst between that situation between Ace and Akainu. And I think in that moment, all that same stuff would go down, but Zoro would see, like, when he's about to attack Luffy, I think Zoro would go and try to eat that, and he would probably die. And I think the sad part about like Zoro dying in the situation is that he would die, and I don't think that it would change anything. Well, okay, maybe Jinbei and will get there close enough, but Zoro would be the new donut, to be honest with you, because you know for a fact Zoro would definitely, if Zoro seen Akainu about to put the Magnum Fist to Luffy, he's gonna try to save my nigga, or like, I think Sanji would see that and immediately get enraged, and I think he would go and I think Ace would definitely try to go and he still be talking his shit, but I think Sanji would run back by that point. He would see my nigga Zoro dead, Luffy devastated on the floor, like, yo, I couldn't save my first crewmate. But I think Sanji would grab Ace up and be like, yo, stop talking, we gotta go. And I think they would relatively all make it out of there. I mean, Sanji would definitely have an emotional moment, but he would know I feel like he would know to act and activate at that moment and get them out of there, get him and Ace out of there. And I think Jinbei would still, and all of them would step in, but I know they would dip, and then we lost Zoro, but we have Ace now. And I guess that makes up for it. So I feel like in either of these situations, we lose. We have to, in either round, we lose something. But that's just how I feel. Tell me how you guys feel in the comments. Tell me, how you guys think the Straw Hats would fare in Marineford. And if you like videos just like this, I have a plethora of videos on the channel, and a what if video on what if Zoro saw Sanji kick Luffy in Whole Cake Islands. Be sure to check that out. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, you guys keep the video going in the comments. Have a blessed day. I do think Whitebeard still dies, and everything else that happens in the main timeline after Ace dies happens the same way. So like Blackbeard still shows up and all of that, but just in this situation, Zoro is the one to die, and Sanji goes and forces Ace to shut the fuck up, and they dip.